All right, we're looking at our final run of playlist cards. We've got at least 20 and then some amount on the final one. This is the Grand Tour, which is the name of a car driving show, I'm pretty sure. It's like a spin-off of Top Gear or whatever. Yeah. Right, it's like a sequel to Top Gear. What was that show called? Top Gear, yeah. Okay. I've never watched a single second of either of these shows, but you pick up this stuff from osmosis. Exile target permanent, then put it into its owner's hand. That player discards that card and puts it on top of their library. Then they put it onto the battlefield. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Now, 90% of the time, you're just using this as a blink, which is very, very versatile. There's lots and lots of stuff that's powerful when you blink it. Um, but the fact that it actually does all of this other stuff too, that you get an opportunity to discard it, which provides some benefit in some cases, that it comes out of the library right into the battlefield. There's some stuff that cares about that. I don't know about stuff that cares about things going into the library. I kind of doubt it, but maybe it exists. So yeah, there's probably some really interesting, really weird decks you can make around this. So these are all like famous locations in Magic. This is the Hella Vault. Let's see if I can recognize all of them. Hella Vault, I believe. Close. Hell Vault. The Hella Vault. Dude, it's Hella Vault. Nice, nice. Nice scale birds. You know it's tall. This card was so underwhelming though, because it's a big part of the story. And it just seems like dumb. Like it's super flavorful. Like this is what it does in the story. You put stuff in it and then when it dies they come back out. But it's like I don't know. This is the Library of Alexandria. The OG one? Maybe? It's like there's something else. There's some other card that this looks even more like, I think. But now I'm not sure. I don't know what's going on here. Is this in Zendikar? Seagate? Maybe? Because there's like a big dead thing there. No. What's this? I don't know. Shoot, I don't know these. This I think is on Kaladesh? This is like the Bolas thing. Ah, whatever. Okay, we gotta give up. Oh my god! Whoa, 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 whoa. What? Wow. Wow. I'm feeling nostalgia for a meme that's like about as old as me. A meme that would have debuted when I was a baby. So, in the very, very first Magic sets, Magic was of course popular, but the internet wasn't. And actual complete card lists of all the cards in Alpha are actually quite hard to come by. So the subject of like what cards actually exist was a matter of much debate. It's kind of nostalgic, isn't it? It reminds me of playing the original Pokemon games. And there it was like we did have access to complete lists of the Pokemon. There's like all sorts of posters and books and stuff that had them all, and yet we still believed that there was a whole bunch of things out there that we just hadn't seen yet, hidden somewhere in the game. And early Magic had that same sort of feel, like nobody knew. So a very commonly rumored card, the fact that it's a summon wolf too, going all the way back instead of creature wolf, was Throat Wolf. People thought there was this card called Throat Wolf, which is such an ominous name. And there's all these rumors about what it did, almost a debate. This Throat Wolf have firstest strike? It's clearly something that Wizards would actually come up with. Can you play it during your opponent's attack? Can it attack twice? These are all things that people thought about Throat Wolf. And of course, I've only learned this secondhand. But I learned it secondhand so long ago, like kind of when I was first getting into Magic. I was learning about like the history of the game and stuff. So this was part of the lore already. So it feels nostalgic for me too, even though I wasn't around for its actual inception. It's beautiful. It's so it's beautiful. It's really beautiful. They'd hit us with the Throw Wolf. After all these years, after 25 plus years, it's real. It's finally real. Throw Wolf. Tybalt the Chaotic. Okay. So this is fun. Tybalt is Mr. Random Guy, and he just can cast random spells. He's kind of like Hero in Ultimate. So I don't. Some of these I may know. I don't know what the heck Ignorant Bliss is. Doesn't even sound like a red card. Oh, it is. Huh. That's kind of fun. This is actually a pretty interesting card. Okay. Crack the Earth sounds kind of familiar. I think it just does damage to stuff. Oh, each player sacrifices a permanent. Okay, sure. Or Blazing Volley. This is, I'm pretty sure, a burn spell. Yeah. This is actually a pretty useful spell. Seething Song gives you 5 red mana. Usually costs 3. Yeah. Nice. Dance with Devils. I think this makes devil tokens. Yeah. Nice, nice. And Flame Break. I don't know what this is, but I assume it's a burn spell. Yep, cool. So when it says cast a copy of one of the following cards, you're supposed to have these cards on hand? Because it seems like they'll go into the graveyard and stuff. Like you actually need a physical card. But then we've seen this mechanic quite a few times where it's like it comes attached with pacifism. Like it's very unclear what you're actually supposed to do. Okay, Hellion Eruption, I think makes a gigantic Hellion token, like a 6/6 or something. Oh my gosh, yeah. Alright, cool. Scary. Insurrection, I think, is like a gain control of a bunch of creatures thing. Yeah, yeah. Can kind of guess from the name. And Warp World. This card is nuts. Are you ready to see a gigantic paragraph of text? Oh, baby. Yeah, so basically you shuffle all your permanents back into your library, and then you get like that many things back. It's really crazy. So sure. Alright, is this card good? I mean, kind of? Like, I don't know. Some of these are genuinely bad for you. Like, Ignorant Bliss kind of shuts down your turn. Blazing Volley could actually really hurt your team. Same with Crack the Earth. It's only when you start minusing that there's ones that don't really have a downside. Wait, Flame Break is all creatures, so that could still be a pretty big downside, right? Flame Break is all creatures, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I don't know. It's probably bad, but it's very fun. I love it. Time Sidewalk. Broken. Absolutely absurd. Like I think you would want to really aggressively mulligan to this. I mean, this for 8 mana, no. But I think it's worth including 4 of these, mulliganing aggressively to them, just so you basically get to run a playset of Time Walk as well. That's just how strong Time Walk is. I think so. I can't imagine this isn't broken. I like, too, the callback to... so Time Walk, a very iconic card. In the original printing, it just has these weird skeletons. Half fleshy, with a clock on their face. You know, it's like unclear. It's like sundials and Stonehenge, like timekeeping instruments or whatever. But spread out in this like very abstract space. There doesn't seem to be like any sort of magic happening or any sort of conflict. It's just like in this ritual setting, the very rules of time and space are getting warped. It just chills me, you know? And then, which I think is super cool, in a few other cards that have the same sort of time feeling, that give you extra turns or otherwise manipulate time, they bring back these skeleton dudes. So I wonder, okay, hold on. Hold on, I got a plan. Lore finder. No, what I want is there's another part of this site. It's actually super cool. How do I, no. Maybe I should make an account and I can save cards that I think are cool. Artist flavor. No. There's a way that you can search for things in like art. You can search for like dog, and not only will it give you hounds, it'll give you just anything that has dogs in the art, which I think is so cool. And it's all just people tagging, going through the art and tagging stuff. I don't remember how to search for that. I'm pretty sure it was in Scryfall. I really want to see these other skeleton ones now. Is this it? Jeez, I swear it's on Skyfall. What? This doesn't help us. This is just, okay. God. Is it just this? Okay, let's try searching dog in this. Yeah? What is it searching for? Dog? Dog. Okay. Dog. 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 But then, like, why? Okay, let's try Lord Skeleton. I wish there was like these tags I could like. Oh gosh. Dang, there was a way to do this. Each part of the card for that word. Like, I don't think it's doing what I want it to. Search, oh, I should look at this. Yes! There it is. So it's part of Skyfall, but it's like pretty separate. I guess because it's totally tagged. Okay, so let's search for a skeleton. And then wait, are these in alphabetical order? Okay, let's just search for Time Walk. And then, okay, well, Walk the Aeons is one of the cards I was looking for, but there's a few other ones, and I wanna like remember what they are. Temporal Manipulation, maybe. Temporal Mastery. Temporal Mastery, I think, is the. No, we want the artifact ones. Yeah, Walk the Aeons. See, it's the same guys. Isn't that cool? It's the same guy. That's all I wanted to say. Sorry, that took like probably 10 minutes. But it's the same guys. Something about that. The fact that this is such early art in Magic. That this was like in the first set when the art direction was a total free-for-all. And then going back, making cards like this. They still, like... This is the time guys. These are the time guys. This art I don't like quite as much because they're like doing stuff, you know? But it still has that very like dreamy, abstract space to it. I really like it. I really like it. Nah. It's just these skeletons. Why is Super Secret Tech coming up? Oh, because you can see time. Oh, there's Time Walk. Anyways, okay. Back to it. Oh my god, I just love this art though. Doesn't it just evoke your imagination? It like both evokes and defeats your imagination. Like you look at it and you like want to understand, and yet you know you can't really understand. You know what it reminds me of? And maybe this is disrespectful, but Paul Celan? Not Todesfute. Another one. There's a poem he has. So this is a guy who wrote a lot of poetry about like the Holocaust and World War II and his experiences living through that. So it probably is quite disrespectful for me but it really reminds me of it. It really, really does. What's it called? I can only remember the German title, and I can't even remember that well. I just remember like a long German name that I think I would recognize. This is the famous one, and it's really beautiful and really, really intense. Black milk of daybreak, we drink it at sundown. Goo! Shoot! Okay, here's how we'll find it. I read it because of the Nosgard one. Yes. 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 No, that's German. We're English. Help out the gaijin. Nothing. I think it translates to nothing, maybe. What? Oh, so I actually have that book. I guess I could just go find it in my bookshelf. Oh, none of this matters. It just, I wish I could find. Is it in here? I don't want to like try to summarize what I'm talking about because it's not anywhere near as effective. Maybe if I try nothing. Does it translate into nothing? What did it come up with when you first searched this word? Narrowing, okay. But like, what is the poem translated as? Oh, this YouTube video, I guess. Oh, this will be in German. Okay, so... Okay, we're gonna do this. I'm so sorry. We've been probably well over 10 minutes now without talking about a magic card. But this is, this is just how... Oh my gosh! We're getting there. Yeah, alright. This is a terrible translation. Based on the translation I read before, this is a terrible translation, but the grass apart, the stones white with the shadows of the stems. Do not read, look. Do not look anymore. Go. Go, your hour has no sisters. Are you at home? A wheel slowly rolls out of itself. The spokes climb on a black field. The night does not need stars. Nowhere it asks for you. And then, maybe? I don't know. Okay, let's just move on. I give up. Transcantation. Target insert. Alright, it just turns into lightning bolt. I love it. At first I was like, really? Just you're allowed to do this? But they've done it so many times now. It's like, oh, it just turns into this card. It casts a copy of this other card. I'm starting to really warm up to it. I don't know why I'm such a stickler for whether or not things would work in the current rule set. It's like more that I'm just kind of curious about whether it could or not. But I think it somehow ends up bleeding into my opinion of the card in general, which is just silly. Trial and error. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Okay, so there's a lot of fun things here. This is something else that Maro has said he kind of wished he had done from the start, is have subtypes for instants and sorceries. So we were talking before about how instant according to Morrow, should have just been a super type, that you'd have an instant sorcery. And then he also said he wished that instants and sorceries, or just sorceries, I guess, would also have subtypes, like fire, lightning, water, earthquake, whatever, that allowed for kind of flavorful things and then also kind of tribal stuff like we have with creatures. And they tried to have it both ways with the tribal super type, which allowed any other card type to have a creature subtype. But the problem with that, and the problem with doing this starting now, is that it's kind of lame that this is fire type, but then 1,000 other cards that look like they should be fire type don't get to be fire type, right? Because there's no way they can go back and errata all of those. So it just leads to kind of an inconsistency or whatever. So that's one thing. And then the other thing is this word fizzles. I'm pretty sure Morrow has said before that he wished that this was like defined in rules. What happens right now is if you cast something that like the target disappears, or for whatever other reason the target is invalid when the card is cast, it fizzles. This is the really common community term. It doesn't do anything. But technically in the rules it actually gets countered, which is why there's a lot of cards that say this card can't be countered, and then there's other ones that say this card can't be countered by spells and abilities, or maybe spells or abilities. Shoot, how do I search for this? What? I'm trying to think of an example. What? Is it can't? Okay, here we go. Yeah, this is a good example. Can't be countered by spells or abilities. Isn't that what I searched for? Countered by spells or abilities? Did I spell abilities wrong? Anyways, so this one is can't be countered because it has no targets, so it can never fizzle. Whereas this one has to say can't be countered by spells or abilities because if the target non-land permanent disappears by the time this thing resolves, it gets countered. So if you say it just can't be countered, then it becomes like a rules impossibility at this point. So they'd rather have this word fizzles so that this can still just say can't be countered, because in this other situation, oh, it's not countered, it's fizzled. All right, whatever. Okay, fine, cool. So yeah, this is kind of fun. I'm pretty sure it's actually like simpler to the current rules. If they said whenever trial and error is countered, you may copy it. That would actually be really cool, and I'm pretty sure that's a card they're totally allowed to make. The problem is many people wouldn't realize this other aspect of it. They would think this only comes into play if someone hits it with a counterspell, when no, it's actually whether it's countered or it has invalid targets. Anyhow, that's cool, and it's a boomerang. Truth or dare? Alright, that's fun. That's fun. I think probably people would choose truth most of the time. I don't know. The value of seeing an opponent's hand seems to be somewhere between 0 and 1 mana, because Gitaxian Probe, which is effectively 0 mana, it's 2 life, has been banned in a lot of formats because this is actually incredibly strong. But then the card Peak, which is 1 mana and does the exact same thing, is never ever played. There's like Urza's Glasses of Urza, which just lets you look at their hand whenever, and it's a bad card and nobody plays it. So I don't know. I feel like probably most people are gonna pick Truth. I don't know. Okay, sure. Hanging out with these owls playing Truth or Dare sounds like fun. Underdark Beholder. Oh my gosh. Okay. Comes into play with 10 Ice Stop counters on it. If it would be dealt damage, remove that many from it instead if you can't sacrifice it. Hey, well that's kind of fun. This I don't see a problem with at all. Why wouldn't this be Black Border? I guess it's a lot of text. I don't know why they just don't say non-land here. Oh, I guess they don't want a creature. Non-land, non-creature, non-planeswalker. I guess this is more flavorful. It's all like the magic ones. No artifacts either. Okay, so that's fine. Yeah, that seems great. I love it. I don't know, like what's wrong with this? I think this is fine. It just has a lot of text, that's all. But it's all very intuitive. Oh my god. Maro really having fun with himself. I thought the two color, the Golgari flying guy before. Remember I was talking about how that was a meme from the Great Designer Search? So is this. And this one is even more of like a like here the first one it was like the quiz was attacked. People thought the quiz was unfair. But this one was later in the phase, and it's like the where specific designs are being submitted and they're getting feedback and criticism from specific designers. So this is Morrow attacking specifically himself because the challenge for one of the rounds was we're making a set on a circus themed plane. So you got to come up with some circus themed cards. And someone came up with a unicycle. I think they gave you names that you could use. They wanted you to use some names. And one of them was unicycle. So a few people made unicycles, I think. Or maybe just one person did. I don't remember. Anyway, someone made a unicycle and they made it a vehicle, which to me seems quite reasonable, and to most people seemed quite reasonable. But Morrow said that a unicycle is really more like an equipment. That I think his argument was based on the fact that it would still be your creature fighting. The creature is just riding a unicycle and then it fights. Whereas vehicles should be more the creature is crewing the vehicle, but the vehicle is doing the fighting. So I can kind of understand that logic. So here, we've split the difference with the very first equipment vehicle. That's awesome. And it's quite intuitive, and I'm pretty sure this works fine within the rules. The only thing that's a little iffy is if you equip it to something and then you crew it, which you should be allowed to do, what would happen is that it would immediately unequip from the creature. And that's just a hard rule that things that are creatures cannot be equipped to things. Just because that sounds very, very messy. So that would probably be unintuitive for people. There's probably people who would think you can equip it to something, that thing has first strike and haste, you can crew it with something else, and then you're swinging with both first strike and hasters. But that's not going to happen. Still, very hilarious that this was made. It's this guy is riding a unicycle, and then they're also equipped with a unicycle to bludgeon people with. That's beautiful. Vassal the Complete. Mega legendary. Alright, this is the most custom Magic card core I've ever seen. This is definitely 12-year-old kid making their very first Magic card core. And I love it. And I love it. The fact that like Mega Legendary is like an acceptable drawback. But that's the direction their mind would go in terms of coming up with a drawback. Vigilance, Trample, and then this is just such a like no-brainer in terms of wouldn't it be cool if a card could do this? I don't know. Is it strong? Probably not. This is such an actual deck building nightmare. Visitor from Planet Q. Wow, look at this art. Oh, I love it. It's so cute. I love this kind of style. It kind of reminds me of some stuff in Yume Nikki, you know? It's like grotesque, but it's so simple and like unassuming that the grotesquity is kind of masked until you kind of like really picture what it would look like real, and then it becomes grotesque again. All creature cards you own with Flash are instants in addition to their other types. Whenever you cast another spell with 2 or more card types, you may draw a card and then discard a card. So here we have an instant creature. So I'm presuming this can be played at instant speed, just like Morrow wanted, if he could redo everything. I love this idea. Cast a spell with 2 or more card types. I mean, there's a lot of those already in Magic. There's artifact creatures. That's like the biggest one. And then you get to loot. Give me the loot. Okay, I like it. I like it. It's not like nuts. It's a cool effect, but it's costed such that you can actually kind of make it happen. And in your Flash tribal deck, there's a lot to love here, especially the art. Wasteland. Hey, now that's cool. Now that is very cool. This is actually such a cool, balanced wasteland. So of course, as a reference to one of the more famous Magic cards, Wasteland. I just love this card too. Like I think I don't know, it's just like such a beating. Like and they got the T.S. Eliot quote. Woo! I love the Wasteland. I love me some T.S. Eliot. I will show you fear in a handful of dust. Woo! Isn't that good? Isn't that good? Maybe I'll make a video sometime where I just read the whole Wasteland. It's like line after line that's so good. Come with me and I'll show you something different than your shadow rising to meet you in the morning and your shadow rising to greet you on your way home. Come with me and I will show you. I'm butchering it. It's nothing like this. Those are something like lines within it. All right. But yeah, this is awesome. As a way to balance this card, they get a wastes. If it wasn't for the fact that land tokens aren't a thing, and maybe there's some good reason why they're not a thing, I think this would be a brilliant card to print. Just as it is. Weaponized Scrap. Upgrade. Ignore the artifact it's covering, sure. Oh, okay. Alright, that's kind of fun. It reminds me of the champion mechanic. They already like figured out how to do this, and then they like made this as if they had forgotten, and it's like a really crazy thing. But they have something that like kind of functionally does this. The champion mechanic. Champion a goblin. Come into play, get rid of the goblin. Yeah. I mean, it's like functionally different, but it's the flavor of what they're going for. It's really funny to me. But it kind of seems like they forgot. They forgot they could actually do this. Whammy Burn. Shuffle your whammy deck, then reveal cards from the top of your whammy deck until you reveal an island or choose to stop. Then, if no islands are revealed this way, it deals X damage. Ah, okay, so no whammy, no whammy, no whammy, I guess is why it's called that. You know, from that board game. Or not that board game, that game show where you don't want to hit the whammies on the board. So it's like a gamble. How many cards are you going to reveal? You know, logic dictates you should do like 2 and then stop. And after 2, your odds of hitting the island are pretty high. But then maybe you really, really need to deal that extra damage, so you pray. Yeah, there's a lot to like about this. I think this card's actually pretty cool. And I like this idea of you having a separate deck that's basically just an RNG source, but it has additional suspense. It has a good way of determining that randomness, flipping cards and stuff. Yeah. I also just really like the meme of no whammy, no whammy, no whammy. Witty Demon. Doing some stand-up. Okay. There's the battlefield. If your starting library had at least 13 cards over the minimum, search the library for a card and put that card into your hand and shuffle your library. Otherwise, it deals 4 damage to you. Okay, so you're only going to run it if you're running a big deck. 13 cards is kind of cool because that means if you're drafting, you can still hit that amount pretty easily. It's like that one conspiracy card that you can only play it if you're playing every single card you drafted. Yeah, so this is, yeah, I don't know, that's neat. Like they've messed with this, I think only once, which is of course Battle of Wits, a pretty famous card that people will try to run. People do bust out big Battle of Wits decks, and I think they're really cool, just because they have so many cards. But very, very, I think this is the only time they care about stuff like this, and that one conspiracy card. Wizened Arbiter. As a battlefield, you may reveal a white card you own from outside of the game. If you do, exchange that card with a card in your hand. I mean, like, they can make this card. They've made cards that are crazier than this. There might be some other, like, reference that I'm not getting here, but this is just a card that could exist. Yeah, sure. That's cool. Wrath of Sod. Whoa. Wait, did they use this term before? Mana bond counters? No, I guess not. Why did I think I had seen that term? Maybe I saw this card before I was making these videos. I don't know. But this is cool. Sure. It's kind of like Settle the Wreckage, but a little different. It's symmetrical. And it can help you too. Like you play this, your guys turn into lands, you ramp out something huge, and they just have a bunch of lands. Could be good. Ziru Spectre, I guess. Deals damage to an opponent. That player discards a card unless they challenge you. If challenged, and you show them 2 black cards in your hand, they must discard 2 cards. Hey, now that is cool. Oh, it's poor Fluff. Fluff died. Now Fluff is a ghost, or Fluffy. So, yeah, I think this is actually a super interesting design space that I'm pretty sure could be done in Black Border. That's so cool. Will your opponent call the bluff? Will your opponent? I mean, of course, if you don't have at least 2 cards in your hand, they're just going to do it every single time. But it's like they have a hand of 5. What are the odds? There's 2 black cards in there. I love it. I love those sort of games. And it's something that draws upon all the knowledge you have of their deck, of the cards they've played so far. What are the odds they have it? It's pretty low impact. They just discard a card or they discard 2 cards. Like, I don't know. That's fairly high impact, but I could see this scaling to some really cool effects. I don't know. It seems really cool. Yawgmoth's Testament. So it's like Yawgmoth's Will, Yawgmoth's Testament. Sure. You play face-up cards you own from exile. Oh boy, that sounds pretty crazy. Wow, so you can play this and Yawgmoth's Will in concert and get another crack at all your cards. Kind of like that card we were looking at earlier that I said would have been Nuts and Burn, or in Storm. I don't remember what it was called. Anyways, and then there's synergy with this too now. There's that card that just lets you draw it again. So yeah, quite a powerful engine. But since part of that engine is Yawgmoth's Will, everything else is just overkill. Yawgmoth's Will is all you need to just win games anyways, so. You're in command. Hey! Whoa! Now that's pretty fun. So they have quite a few cards that care about commanders, care about the commander area, how many times you played your commander attacks, and commanders, everything. Which, like, I don't know. I mean, commander is popular enough that that's fine, that there can be cards just for that format. I'm not really complaining about that. It's more just like, I guess I'm not complaining at all. Yeah, that's fine. But this is cool too, because now you can actually play all of those cards in Constructed. You just need to play this first. Or not like Constructed, you know what I mean, like a real format. I mean, it's on the list here, but you know what I'm saying. Okay, so we're already down to the Y. I think there's probably not that many cards left. We'll just finish it off now. This is probably the last card, yeah. Zim, Mesmeric Lord. Flying Death Touch. In this battlefield, target opponent chooses an order for the cards in their hand, then reveals them one by one until you stay stopped. That player then discards their most revealed. Hey, now that's really fun. I like these little games. I like these little mind games and stuff. You're trying to read where they really put their best card out first, try to like sneak it through. Are they going to save the best for last, hoping you're going to get enticed by something else along the way? So many levels, so many. Yeah, I don't know. I love it. I hope they do some more stuff like this in Black Border. I feel like there's a whole lot of potential just for these little mind games, you know? Like to the extent it exists in Black Border, something like Cabal Therapy, where you can just make a read of a specific card they have in their hands, and then the payoff can be huge. I think are so cool. I wish there was more. Okay, so we've looked at all the playtest cards. Now the real work can begin. No, I think we're pretty much done. I spent a lot of time in this video just talking about Sealand. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Selan? Selan? I want to see. I'm a little curious about some of these. They all work in the official Magic rules. Is that true? Test cards are mostly created to be entertaining to look at and play a match or two with. Not for, yeah. Sure. Yeah, alright, sweet. That's what I was hoping for. Yeah, I think a lot of these would be really fun to be in a cube. Nice, nice. I love it. I love it. Land tokens. They gotta make articles for like all this stuff now, I guess. Land tokens. Stated earlier that yeah, I remember them talking about land tokens before and saying they couldn't do it for some reason. They all work in Magic rules. You're not high-fiving anyone or anything. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Oh, so so great. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That makes me happy. Um. So this is yeah. This is what a real playtest card looks like, and it's just a sticker on a existing card. Wow, they use a rare for them. Wow, what's been gosh. Hmm. So not really all that much more we can glean here. Um. hmm. Crazy, 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 crazy. Oh my god, Mana Crypt is in here? Holy. Okay, so I want to take a quick look too. And I promise it'll be a quick look. But you can look at the current time in the video and then look at the total length of the video and see if I'm lying, I guess. Wow. Okay, this isn't going to be a quick look. Here. This is what we can do. Sorted by price USD. Oh, I guess that doesn't work because it's not the right printing. Shoot. What order is this in then? Oh, so there's prices for some of them. It's just like not really accurate because, oops. Full. Yeah, these prices aren't accurate yet. So if I could search by the highest cost of all of the cards that have been printed in here, maybe that's like a thing I can do, but I don't know. It's so interesting. Even the copyright symbol is like old. Is that legal? Yeah, so just like the vast majority, there's no price listed. So that's too bad. There's something else I can sort by? Oh, let's try this. This might give us interesting things. So this is EDH recommendation rank. So it's like how frequently these cards are played in EDH. Sol Ring, yeah. Okay, so this could show us some interesting stuff. This is called Clamp. Wow, this format would be so nuts because you have all of this stuff and then you have the test print cards too. Oh my gosh. I'm surprised Mana Crypt is in here. Well, I suppose though, like the cards that are really expensive, like Mana Crypt, aren't gonna get played as much. There she is. Yeesh. Wow. There's some crazy stuff in here. Muldrifter. Ooh, ooh. Teferi's Protection. Whoa, this is like a super expensive card, isn't it? 50 bucks. Good, it's getting reprinted. How much is Mana Vault now? Or Mana Crypt? I got reprinted a few times, so it might have gone down. No. Nope. it has not. Or maybe it has, but it's still crazy. Damn these mystery boosters. Because like I think all the test print cards are gonna go up in price a lot. Just because they're gonna be in such limited supply. And then you can just pull such crazy things from here. Well, maybe we're past like the really crazy. How much is Metamorph? Everybody plays this card. Okay, that's reasonable. That set got opened a lot, I guess. Ah. We're cheeky. Damn. This is cool. I'd love to draft the mystery boosters. That sounds like so much fun. I don't know how that would happen though. Crazy. Okay. I don't know. There's so many. What's the bottom? What's the least EDH rank? Yeah, well that's just a terrible card, so that makes sense. What is this even from? What is that set? Is this like the international thing? Yeah, okay, alright. Well, that makes sense then, I guess. It's terrible. All those cards are terrible. This I think is so low because Tinker is Banded Commander. But of course this card is Omega broken. Alright. We'll call it quits there. Bye bye.